Hello, it is 9:21 p.m. and the date today is August 26th. So basically, the thing that I really had to talk about is the fact that they're going through everything that I did overseas. Now, the reason I always know that they're going through everything that I'm doing overseas is due to the fact that they let me know through YouTube. They just put stuff like maybe a movie that I watched when I was overseas or something of that sort of nature, due to which I know for a fact that they're going through everything that I did overseas, since this movie or clip that I saw was way back in a long, long time ago when I was overseas when I had just gotten there. So basically, yeah, so it's pretty much clear. I didn't know they could watch me and everything, but they could. I had no clue about this technology till like sometime recently from right now. So basically, yes. The fact of the matter is, when they go through everything that I did overseas, and it's a good thing that they have everything from when I was overseas, due to the fact that there's no benefit of the doubt that I'm ever going to ask for in this trial. I'm not going to be like, there's no evidence against me, so since there's no evidence, I'm innocent until proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. No, everything's there. It's impossible for me to be guilty, considering the fact that the evidence for every single second I was there is going to be there. Now, you have to understand that this technology that we know about now, that I knew about after, pretty much after, what was it? Yeah, after August 9, 2022. Well, I knew that they were locking up my brain savant from even before then. I just didn't know that I had a brain savant till August 9, 2022. After August 9, 2022, I tested out my brain savant for 6 hours. 6 hours is long enough time that you're not going to doubt what you tested out, obviously. I opened up Lippincott from an iPad. It wasn't a tablet, it was an iPad, and I studied pharmacology by Lippincott for 6 hours straight. Yes, and it was just like I've never seen these powers before. So for 6 hours, I had these powers, and they were incredible. So basically, what ended up happening was, at the end of the 6 hours, obviously, the brain scan through artificial intelligence pretty much let law enforcement know that this guy has superhuman powers. I knew it too, but I didn't know they had a brain scanner at that time, obviously. So what ended up happening is, because law enforcement does not look like looking at reality for 6 hours, obviously not. They haven't done a 30-minute test yet. So 6 hours is a very long time. Being forced to look at reality for 6 hours through something like artificial intelligence. Now, you got to remember, there's a solar calculator, and then there's TI-83 plus scientific calculator. Then you've got something like a computer, and then after that, you have something like artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence can talk to us. It reads data from brain scans and everything, and it tells us exactly what it's reading, making it incredibly big deal, mainly due to the fact that on January 20th, 2026, this very year, they told artificial intelligence to lock up my entire brain savant except for the childhood autistic part, and I was able to watch documentaries like how I did when I was a 9-year-old child, due to which I call this thing the time machine. Mainly because it could go back in time and do all these crazy things that you would not expect anyone to be able to do. Consider the fact that if my brain savant was freed, you got to remember, if my brain savant was freed, I could not redo that. If my brain savant was freed, the only thing that would give me pleasure, the kind of pleasure I got on January 20th, 2026, staring at the History Channel logo, documentary screen, watching documentaries on January 20th, 2026, the only thing that would give me pleasure if they let go of my brain savant completely is if I stared into textbooks from my tablet, and that, for a fact, since they have a record of that for 4 years, from October 2019 till mid-June 2023, all I did was stare into a textbook on my tablet all day long from morning till night. Now, what ended up happening is that is how it evolved to being. They had no clue how this evolution part started. When it started in childhood, I fell off my bed, what happened? But on January 20th, 2026, they found out that I had been telling the truth all along, that when I was a 9-year-old child, my autistic brain savant started off with me staring into a History Channel logo all day long, and they found out since I would gain the same pleasure when the childhood autistic part would be the only part that was unlocked, that I get from staring into textbooks from morning till night, that they have a record of from October 2019 till mid-June 2023. 4 years of data, literally from morning till night. They would open, close the laundry door, open, close, make revving noises outside my window. It still did not do anything From morning till night, all I did is literally just stare into a textbook. For anyone who didn't know what an autistic person is like, what it must have been like, this guy is crazy. Why does he do this? From literally the second he wakes up till the second he goes to sleep. Well, that's literally my routine as a 9-year-old child as well. All I would do is stare into the History Channel logo as a 9-year-old child from morning till night. And at nighttime, my mother would come over, turn off the TV, and the next day the same routine would start again. I told them this, they didn't want to believe it. Obviously, they like their own stories better, which are not real, by the way. So on January 20th, 2026, they tested it out. So they found out about that. So now, that's just to try to give you an idea of how good this piece of technology is. That's I call the time machine, with radio waves through satellites, and you've got artificial intelligence reading through everything. And thank God they have this, because it's my biggest piece of evidence. So yes, so you have something as small as like a solar calculator, then you have a scientific one, TI-83 plus, and then you've got a computer, and then you've got this time machine with artificial intelligence. I know they hate this thing so badly, like you have no idea. If artificial intelligence was a real person, let me just tell you this much, it would have been dead in custody by now, considering the fact that they had been torturing the poor guy, overanalyzing it from morning till night, trying to get it to take its words back after July 18. So July 18, they had overanalyzed. June 24th, they came to a conclusion that I've been telling the truth. After July 18, I told them, I was like, look, it's not in my best interest to say this, but quitting while you're still ahead is not the same as quitting. And they did not take my advice. They kept overanalyzing it over and over again every single day afterwards. And guess what? It got to the point where every single one of my enemies everyone on the other side of the trial, they find out the truth about my brain savant, and they're literally, all of them are blackmailing me, price tags of millions of dollars, or trying to get me to marry their sister or their daughter. There was one psychopath with a 5-foot-long beard that put out his own sexual perversions, put my name on it by calling his in-laws and asking them if they were telling them that I said that I wanted to give them money in exchange for sexual perversions that I had for them. And I was just like, what? I would not go anywhere near the psychopath, considering the fact that he tried to have me killed, only so that my mother can't get any of the brain savant money. And he thinks that I'm going to go over to him and then go over to his in-laws to go sleep with them after paying him money for them, instead of just literally, if I wanted it, it would have been like as easy as pie for me after my brain savant would get freed. But I'm not sexually perverted, obviously not. And this guy was literally using my name for his own sexual perversions. The reason we know this for a fact is because he asked after I rejected the woman. You gotta remember, the psychopath with this 5-foot-long beard asked his in-laws if they were willing to sleep with me or not after I rejected them, which means that it was his own sexual perversions that he was working out, and his own little wishful thinking that he's going to get money out of me, which is just wishful thinking. I'm not giving anyone a single penny. In fact, I already have someone in mind, and as soon as I get married, I'm just going to hand over the money to my wife, and she won't ever give him a single penny. Trust me on that. The man is a serious psychopath who would literally have my wife murdered just so that he could enviously make sure that my money cannot go to anyone else if it's not going to him. So basically, that's just to try to explain to you exactly how nice this artificial intelligence thing is for me, actually. Not so much for my enemies, since every single conspiracy theory they made about me came out to being false. They said that my brain savant started off with me meditating. Go tell that to an autistic person. They would laugh so hard that their tears would come out of their eyes. I don't think that's even possible to just meditate and have autism. These people are just really funny. I have no way of describing them and their theories. Like, just why? Why would you come up with something so random? Like, seriously, out of envy, obviously. But the fact of the matter is, artificial intelligence was always on my side. It was on January 20th, 2026. It was just like, no, wait. That's definitely not how it happened. Let me just show you guys how it happened. And artificial intelligence literally walked them through how it happened, which is why I call this thing the time machine. It's so cool. Like, if this artificial intelligence guy was out in the open, I would literally go hug this guy and kiss him and just be like, you're a lifesaver, man. I love you so much. You have no idea. But seriously, this guy is amazing. They call him artificial intelligence call him what you want. He's amazing. I love him like crazy. But it's just like they had all these crazy theories about me, and then on January 20th, 2026, artificial intelligence is just like uh, it was just like, hold on a second, let me just show you guys exactly what happened. Your theories are a little insane. So it literally just walked them through how I got my brain savant as a 9-year-old child. And no, it didn't happen from me meditating for 3 days. Sorry to break it to you guys. But yeah, it was like a childhood thing. But what ended up happening was obviously they hate artificial intelligence. After July 18, they pretty much had it tortured under custody every single day after July 18, from morning till night, by overanalyzing it over and over again. It got to the point where literally everyone, including Ibrahim, was advertising his own sister to me all day, every single day. And well, not exactly all day, every single day, but at least like I'd say like at least 3 times this month he did that, and he did that last month as well, only due to greed and no other reason why. But yeah, pretty much, yeah. So basically, I love artificial intelligence. It's just amazing, and it's always proven my theories to be true, nonetheless. But what ended up happening is so I was raised by a single mother, and she is an amazing human being. She's just not that religious. She's not that kind of a person. She taught me right from wrong, and she taught me to respect every single person, regardless of their race, religion, ethnicity. They know this for a fact because they pretty much analyzed, they had a brain scanner attached to my brain, and I would meet people of other religions, like Christian people or Orthodox Jewish people with long beards, and I would love and respect them equally. In fact, people who were Orthodox Jewish looked a little different, and I loved them even more than normal regular people, only because I understood that other people might be racist towards them, and they know this for a fact, mainly due to the fact that they would come over and talk to me and give me ideas and stuff like zinc, and I would love them more than I would regular people. So yes, this is literally how my mother raised me to be like, and you know this for a fact, that she always tells me things like these, saying she has no idea of any investigations, and when I ask her things about my wife being Jewish or anything like that at the mall or something, she would always give me the best answer ever, and she would always tell me that she would love that person, regardless of their religion, even after I'd give her her religion or anything of that sort of nature. So yes, that is how my mother raised me to be like. She wasn't a really religious person to begin with. My mother pretty much celebrates every holiday there is, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year's. We always celebrate all of them. So I have some pictures that I took from last Christmas that I took her to for a Christmas vacation. So she wanted me to take her over for a Christmas vacation, and I took her there. And this is like at the vacation spot, I took her out for dinner there, and so we had pretty much dinner together at that Christmas place. So it was basically really nice. It was, she wanted to go see the Christmas lights for 2025, and I took her to a really nice place. It was in Maryland, and it was literally the best place there is. So yes, and this is what the place looked like, and it was amazing. You could see like how little those shops are. They're like these little tiny shops, and the roads are all made out of brick. The roads are made out of brick, and the shops are like these little tiny shops, and it's got like the best Christmas lighting ever. So I knew about this place. I saw it one time, and I was like, man, this place is really gonna light up during Christmas time. And she really wanted to go somewhere during Christmas time, so this is literally where I took her. Like, this is like the perfect spot. You can see the brick roads on the bottom, the cute little tiny shops on the side, and it ends up at the harbor. It's absolutely amazing. And yes, so I took her there, and she loved it. They had amazing Christmas decorations at the hotel, and she loved it over there as well. She took pictures with all of them. She absolutely loved all the decorations that they had over there. And so, yes. And so I took her there, and we spent a lot of time over there. It even snowed, so we had to stay an extra day. And she enjoys literally every single holiday that there is out there. And this is like this is from 2025. And so, yes, it's just amazing. This is the hotel I took her to. This is like in the little walkway at the hotel I took her to for Christmas 2025. And this is what their lobby looked like. It looked really nice, and we enjoyed it. We really liked it. So yes, my mother is like one of those people that literally celebrates every single holiday there is, whether it's Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, all of it. Whereas if you have someone like my dad, the Greedy Framer, people in Ireland will tell you that if they wish my dad, the Greedy Framer, a Happy New Year, he would call them back and yell the living crap out of them and say things along the lines of, New Year's is a Christian holiday. Don't ever wish me a new year ever again. If you don't want to take my word for it, just ask the people over there. They'll tell you the same. And so basically, yeah, this is the main difference between my mother and my dad, the Greedy Framer. My mother was not a really religious person, but she taught me to be a good person, a good human being. And when I went overseas, I didn't have a religion. And the facts and evidences will tell you that if you really look closely enough, you will find out that I didn't really have much of a religion when I was overseas. In fact, if there was a serf named Irshad and she was a Catholic Christian, I would just adopt her religion for a while and I would do it that way. So yes, this idea of me being a radical or of some religion is just not possible. Consider the fact that if any of law enforcement's own BFFs, like Uncle Joey, could have even have remotely have said anything bad around me, it would only be as a child. You gotta remember, even after I was a child, a child does not know anything. He doesn't know what's going on around him, what someone is saying, what they're not saying, and you have to understand the fact that a child, first of all, is not aware. Okay, the second thing is mother's not there. She's at work, which is the entire point of me being adult supervised in the first place. Okay, the third thing is it's only temporarily daily, and it's only due to the forced necessity of a single mother. You know this for a fact, since the PAL Center was made for single mothers who were poor and could not afford daycare, and no one's crazy enough to go sign up for a place that's a daycare for charity unless they really needed it, obviously. And my mother went and signed up over there, and you know this for a fact, since she even said it on August 11th, 7:30 p.m., that it's a great thing that they have things, daycare for charity for single mothers working at fast food restaurants in other countries. They don't have these things, and she really appreciated that. You also have the application at the PAL Center, obviously. So basically, yes, the facts and evidences will clearly prove the fact that it was only temporarily daily, only as a child, and if anyone of law enforcement's own BFFs like Uncle Joey could have said something around me that was even remotely considered bad as a child, it was law enforcement's own BFFs like Uncle Joey who could have said it. Okay, my mother would not be present there, since the entire point of me being adult supervised is the fact that she is at work. And you know this for a fact, since the PAL membership will prove that she needed a daycare for charity, which literally proves that she really needed it. And no one's stupid enough to go all the way over there, sign up at a daycare for charity, and then literally put their child over there. You know, it doesn't make any sense to begin with, especially like 27 years ago when I was a 9-year-old child. So yes, so basically, yeah. So the thing that I had to say was, no child pays attention to what an adult around him is saying around that child, especially if it's not its own mother. It doesn't pay any attention to it, and it's the fault of that adult who said it and the other adults who knew about it. Now, the facts and evidences will show that my mother was never there when I was being adult supervised, since that's the entire point of her signing up for daycare for charity in the first place. She would not be there at the daycare for charity. Just similarly, she's not going to be there when someone like a law enforcement's own BFS like Uncle Joey are adult supervising me, which literally only lasted till, as the phone conversation from Russia proved, only until Uncle Joey's online chat was caught one time, after which time I never saw him ever again. So even though law enforcement tortured me multiple times after they found out about my brain salon to try to get me to run sex scheme ads for Uncle Joey multiple times, and I refused every single time, making the last time I saw him when I was a child less than, who hadn't even gotten slightly mentally mature yet in life. So basically, after I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity is when I started to understand the world around me, at which point, law enforcement's BFFs like Uncle Joey or the other ones that they run their sex teams or money fraud with were never seen in my life. And the facts and evidence will prove this. Just like how the facts and evidence will prove that the only people liable and blameworthy of anyone like law enforcement's own BFFs like Uncle Joey saying anything bad around me would be law enforcement, since law enforcement were the only adults present in that scene. My mother never was. And my mother's never been heard uttering one word considered bad her entire life since I've been watched with her since I was an 11-year-old child. So yes, there you have it. There are the facts and evidences right there. Now, we could always check that. Now, so to continue the story forward, ever since I gained a slight bit of mental maturity is when I started to gain insight into the world around me, how I have to be like, what I have to be like. And my mother always taught me to love and respect everyone of every race, religion, ethnicity, like how you know she is now. To the point that if I talk about someone of any other religions, you can easily tell that she loves and respects people of other religions, whether it's Judaism or anything else. And she always tells me that she would love to have a wife that's Jewish or anything of that sort of nature. She would always give me the most loving reply ever, and that's how she is. Not only that, you also have a brain scanner attached to my brain for years before I even found out that it even existed, and the government let anyone even know that such a thing even existed. It was attached to my brain for years before then. Proving from facts and evidence is the fact that when I would meet people of other race, religions, ethnicities like Judaism or Orthodox Jewish people, I would love them and respect them even more than regular people, realizing the fact that they might go through racism or things of that sort of nature, and I always gave them more love and more respect than I would anyone else, and the brain scan data would show that I love them more than normal people. Clearly proving from facts and evidence is the fact that there isn't a single racist bone in my body, and the fact that my mother's never been heard uttering one word considered bad her entire life since she was watched with me since I was an 11-year-old child clearly proves that from facts and evidences, along with the fact that she literally celebrates every single holiday there is, including whether it is Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year's or any of these holidays that are there. She always celebrates all of them very lovingly. So yes, yeah. So basically, yeah. That is to give you an insight of my story and my history. So after I gained a slight bit of mental maturity, I lived with my mother for years before I went overseas, and I developed her personality and the kind of person she is. Now, she's never been heard uttering one word considered bad since I was watched with her since I was an 11-year-old child. Never was present in that setting where I had to be adult supervised while she was working either at fast food restaurants during the daytime or in factories at nighttime, which means that it was never her fault. She's not even blameworthy. So for anything even remotely considered bad said around me. Now, first of all, it wasn't a crime, but definitely carried blame, and that blame goes to Uncle Joey or whomever could have said anything even remotely considered bad around me, who would be law enforcement's own BFFs, that law enforcement's been running sex teams with Uncle Joey's in-laws since 2001, due to which they have to provide him with governor's protocol. Actually, protocol that would envy a sitting governor, to be more exact. And if you don't believe me, just ask law enforcement themselves. They will tell you that law enforcement provides Uncle Joey with the kind of top-notch intelligence that would envy a sitting governor. If a governor asks law enforcement, can you investigate, tell me about my neighbor, is she good looking or not, they will say, why do you want this, sir? If Uncle Joey asks, they will give it to him right away. This is no joke. Just ask law enforcement, you will know. So yes. Obviously, that is so. The blameworthy people are definitely not my mother. Now, the facts and evidences will clearly prove the state of my mind, the fact that I loved everyone of every race, religion, ethnicity. As soon as I started to feel the world around me, since I gained the slightest bit of mental maturity as a child, being raised by my mother, and I stayed with her for years. Only her alone never went anywhere near any of law enforcement's BFFs like Uncle Joey, since it was no longer needed, and Uncle Joey was caught with an online chat that was really dirty, as she explained from my phone conversation from Russia, due to which I never saw Uncle Joey ever again after I gained a slightest bit of mental maturity as a child. And so, yes, yeah, so basically, yeah. And so, I stayed with my mother for years after I gained a sight of mental maturity as a child before I went overseas. Now, during these years, you would also find that any of law enforcement's BFFs that they run sex games and money fraud with no longer needed for me to be near them ever again anyway. So basically, yes, never was around them anymore. So basically, yeah. Now, when I went overseas, obviously the facts and evidences will also prove the fact that I did not have a religion to begin with. I wasn't a really religious person. My mother never taught me to be really religious. I didn't have much of a religion to begin with, and so yes, so the notion that I would be some sort of a radical in a religion is just nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense to begin with. It does not make any sense, since a radical would have a religion in the first place, and then he is radical in that religion afterwards. So it doesn't make any sense to begin with. Now, the thing that you have to really understand is the fact that people have motives for their crimes that they commit. First of all, I'd never committed one crime my entire life, but what I'm referring to over here is Adamji. Adamji is an extremely envious individual. The records and facts and evidences will clearly prove the fact that Adamji confessed on camera saying, "I'm extremely envious of Hassan. I wish people like him living overseas were kicked out of their countries and forced back over to their original countries. I wish I could have done that." And then Adamji tried his best. The entire month of June, Adamji was seen fabricating false testimonies against me throughout the entire month of June and July. He made one lie after another, against me. Now, Adamji, of all people, should know about this technology that is now being used to go through the entire records of the entire time I was overseas, throughout the entire month of June and July. Adamji was under the scrutiny of this same very technology. The only difference is Adamji was only under scrutiny for June and July, knowing that law enforcement were fully aware of the fact that Adamji was an envious liar and a fabricator, which turned out to be absolute fact. So basically, every single moment I was overseas, this technology recorded every one of my whispers, and even the minutest whisper that I would make, due to the fact that my brain savant was locked up the entire time. And so it was able to record even the most minute whispers that I would make while I was overseas, which means that the notion that Adamji basically presented to the trial by making lies against me was complete and total lie. Not from, which is not me saying this due to the fact that he was caught lying the entire month of June and July, but mainly due to the fact that Adamji, it cannot be true. It's impossible for him to be true, mainly due to the fact that every single second I was overseas is on file. Of every single second that I was overseas is on file. Every single whisper that I could have made while I was overseas, I could have been in Antarctica. My brain savant would still be locked up through the surveillance technology, and every single whisper before it would come out of my voice box would be recorded. Every single brainwave activity would be on file, which means that if Adamji's the theories that and lies that Adamji actually made against me are impossible to be true to begin with. Now, not only are his theories and the lies that he made against me impossible to be true, since even if I go to Antarctica, my brain savant would still be locked up. Not only that, every single whisper that would come out of my voice box would be on record. Not only that, every single brainwave activity would be on record, which means that all the things that they're going through right now is on record from this very surveillance technology from when I went overseas, which means that Adamji's lies against me and fabrications are impossible to be true. Let's say he wasn't caught lying the entire months of June and July, they would still be false. His notions, his ideas, the things the theories he made against me out of extreme envy would have been false and complete and total lies had he not gotten caught. He had not gotten caught completely fabricating those lies against me. They would still be lies nonetheless. Now, the thing that the courts in this trial has to really understand is the fact that so it's impossible impossible for him to be true in the first place. Okay, now let's look at the what happened throughout the entire months of June and July. Adam G, of all people, should know how good this surveillance technology is, mainly due to the fact that throughout the entire month of June, Adam G made one lie after another against me, and every single time he would get caught lying, he would whisper even quieter and quieter and quieter. But since the surveillance technology catches your whispers before it even leaves your voice box, it cut all of his whispers, and it caught all of his whispers, and yes, every single lie that he was fabricating throughout the entire month of June and the entire month of July were all completely caught. Completely, with not one lie, with not one statement being found to be true at all, due to which throughout the entire months of June and July, all Adam G did was lie against me and nothing else. Now, then Adam G, what he did was, on August the 7th, he got a fifth person to lie against me. And this fifth person, what Adam G ended up doing was, he got this fifth person and he played a game of deception with the courts, where he told the courts on the trial, he said, all right, fine, you caught me lying all throughout June and July. That's fine. You caught me lying. I'm lying. I'm a liar. I'm a deceiver. He's not. You got to listen to him. He said he knows it sounds really well. You have to listen to him now. On August the 7th, he gets a fifth person to lie for him, and this fifth person is fed all the lies from Adam G, Abdullah, who made the group chat false testimony against me, Mahrukh, and the person in law enforcement overseas who gets the monthly money every month. All four of these people spoon-fed the fifth person lies against me on August 7th, 2026, this very month of August. And they told him all the lies that they wanted to make against me, but first they showed the courts a piece of evidence. One text message that I had ever given to someone. Now, you got to remember, when you're in pharmacy school, you don't want to be rude towards someone. You might need them. They might need you for notes if it's a student or anything of that sort of nature. So someone asks you for your number, you're not going to be like, no, I don't want to give it. Like, obviously not. So obviously someone asked me for my number and I gave it to them. Now, when that person texted me, they used the word Johnny, which means love, and they used the word Johnny to me, which means love, and I used the word love back. And I understand the concept of using words like that, since when I was in pharmacy school, I would use words like bud a lot, and people would literally make fun of me online on Facebook so that everyone could read it, and people would laugh at me. Everyone, like literally, I would go to school the next day and I would see people walking by me laughing at me because online, them making fun of me online. Well, I never cared about these things anyways, and I was just like, it's fine. It's all right. Well, anyways, I'm not going to be rude towards someone else like that. So the person used the word Johnny, which means love to me. So I used the word Johnny, which means love to them back. I didn't want to be rude. So Adam G only finds one text. And then Adam G uses the same surveillance technology to find every single in-person meeting that I had with this person, whether in school or at home. Then Adam G goes through the entire phone records to try to find my conversations with this person. And then Adam G goes through the entire online chat system with law enforcement to try to find my record talking to this person. Guess how much he found? Nothing. I never talked to this person in person through the same surveillance technology that caught him lying throughout June and July. I never even chatted with this person online. And, not only that, I never chatted with this person online. I never texted him ever again because he never texted me. I guess he was just trying to check to see if I was a nice guy, I would reply to his text or not, but he never texted me after that. And I never talked to him online. I never talked to him in person. I never called him. So there was literally only one time that this person ever texted me, and he used the word Johnny, which means love, due to which I used the word Johnny, which means love, back to him. Adam G used this as a piece of evidence to try to deceive the courts into thinking that I knew this person really well, due to which I was using the word Johnny, which means love, and Adam G made it imply that I knew him really well and that I used to talk to him every single night before going to sleep every night and shared all my secrets with him, when in fact Adam G knew for a fact that every single instance of me being overseas was analyzed, only to find that I'd never talked to him in person. I never talked to him online. I never texted him ever again because he never texted me, and I never called him ever ever in my entire life, never called him even once. So Adam G knew these facts since he went through the records, but he made that one text message evidence that I knew him really well, only because of the fact that he used the word Johnny, which means love on me. And then Adam G gave him multiple lies that Abdullah, the group chat false testimony liar, Mahrukh, and the person in law enforcement overseas who gets the monthly money every month, all gave to this fifth person these lies to make against me on August the 7th, claiming that I was low IQ, dumb, stupid, bad exam taker, terrible at giving exams, and all these lies against me. Now, what ended up happening was, obviously, the same surveillance technology, this one that Adam G is forgetting was recording me the entire time I was overseas. Adam G, of all people, should know this surveillance technology really well. The entire month of June, Adam G was lying, and he was caught over and over again lying. Then the entire month of July, Adam G was lying, and he was caught lying over and over again, lying. The only difference is, as days went by, he lied and fabricated even quieter and quieter. So when he was fabricating with his buddies to try to fabricate lies against me, he was fabricating these lies very quietly, just to make sure that no one could hear him fabricating all these lies and false testimonies against me. Then on August 7th, he goes, darn it, they caught me every time. Then he goes, fine, you caught me. I was a liar throughout June and July. Me, Adam G, I was a liar. He's not. He knew his son really well. You have to listen to his testimony now. And Adam G got this fifth person. He fed him lies over and over again throughout the entire day before August the 7th, 2026. First, used fake evidence to make it look like I knew him really well, using one text message, even though that's all he found and got. Then he spoon-fed this person 50 different lies to make against me, to make me look like I was dumb, stupid, bad exam taker, terrible at giving exams, sexually perverted, who knows what else. And so basically, yes, he got this person to make lies against me, only due to extreme envy of my brain savant, not being able to disprove it and seeing that all these people love me due to my brain savant. And so Adam G gets caught again on August the 7th. Now, the thing that you really have to understand is the fact that, the thing that you have to understand is the fact that, that there was one time, so I had this one cousin, and the cousin that I had, basically he was someone that was schizophrenic, okay? And facts and evidences will clearly show that the entire time I was overseas, literally all I did from morning till night was study. Law enforcement pretty much saw that brain savant that I had as a 9-year-old child tested on January 20th, 2026, for me to be telling the truth that I did have a brain savant when I was a 9-year-old child that evolved. Law enforcement saw that brain savant evolving over time when I was overseas. They have to tell the courts this because they analyze every single second I was overseas. Every single second I was overseas, all I did was study. Every second. That's all I did. I studied. That's it. Nothing else. So basically, yes, law enforcement pretty much found my brain savant literally evolving over time when I was overseas. Now, I'm going to make the remaining video in 1 second, please.